and welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here today. Hope you've had an amazing weekend. So we're going to read, if I can get my words out, we're going to be reading from our devotional, 5 Minutes with Jesus, Quiet Time for Your Soul, by Sheila Walsh with Sherry Craig. And today's devotion comes from page 179, and the title is Practicing Forgiveness. So, I know that God's fixing to talk to me about this because I have issues with certain things in my life in the forgiveness area. So I'm anxious to see how he's going to get on to me today. With love, of course. So let's just get started. I will be reading from the King James Bible. I read all the scriptures from this devotional from the King James Bible. If you have this, then you know that she add scriptures from different Bibles, but I do only use the King James Bible. So let's just get started. When I was teaching in church in the Midwest, the leaders asked if I would allow a time for question and answers after my final session. I was more than happy to. I always find the kinds of questions women ask fascinating. Where did you get your shoes? Is that your natural hair color? Many of the questions that day made me smile, but one was about as important a question as we can ever ask. What do you think is the greatest hindrance to spiritual growth? My answer is simply unforgiveness. A lack of forgiveness can be a huge hindrance to our ability to hear from God and therefore to our spiritual growth. Like a fortress of hurt, unforgiveness stands between our heart and God's. It is such a serious matter that Jesus directly linked our forgiveness of others to his forgiveness of us. I knew he was going to get on to me, y'all. He also addressed unforgiveness in an important way in Matthew 5:23 through 24. If you are offering your gift at the altar and there remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and reconcile to them, then come and offer your gift. Wow. So if there is a relationship that needs reconciling in your life, Jesus says to leave your gift there in front of the altar and go deal with that relationship. It's important to our relationship with God that we forgive one another. Now, I am not pretending for even a minute that forgiveness is easy or that life is fair. I've often said to my son, fair doesn't live here, but Jesus does. And sometimes, even when you forgive another person, you may find that they are just too dangerous for you to be around very much, if at all. Bottom line, what I am challenging you to do is trust God with your hurt of your past. The ability to forgive is God's gift, helping us live in a world that's not fair. So give up the goal of exacting justice and instead surrender the situation to your just and kind God. You may not be able to trust the person who hurt you, but you can always trust your Father in heaven. It is this truth that makes forgiveness possible. And the sooner you reconcile with your brother or sister, the sooner you can get back to that gift you left at the altar and sweet fellowship with the lover of your soul. Don't wait another minute. Practice forgiveness today. The gift of forgiveness, of being forgiven, and of forgiving will set you free. I knew it, y'all. Okay, Colossians chapter 3 and verse 13, and it says, Forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel, and quarrel in this text means complaint, against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye. Then we're going to go to the book of Luke. Luke 11 and 4. And it is in red, and anytime it is in red, that is actually Jesus speaking. And it says, And forgive us our sins, for we also forgive everyone that is indebted to us. And lead in this text means bring us And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Then we're going to go to Luke 6 and verse 37, again in red. And it says, Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Mark 11 and 25. And in red again, Jesus speaking. And when ye stand praying, forgive. And if ye have aught against any, that your Father also which is in heaven might forgive you your trespasses. Then we're going to go to book of Matthew 22, 37 through 39. And again in red, Jesus speaking. And it says, Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great in this text means most important commandment. Verse 39. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And I am not going to sit up here and act like that I can tell you how to do this, because I struggle. And I don't normally struggle with this. I'm usually very, very quick to forgive. But I just had this one particular situation in my life that I'm finding it so hard to forgive. And I know y'all don't even have to tell me, because I know this, and I deal with this, and I pray about this. And I'm doing things that I know that I have to do to reach the point of forgiveness. But when you've been hurt so deeply and your life, as you know it, has been completely changed because of one person and their act and their mouth and their words, it's hard. And I have never told y'all that I'm perfect. In fact, I've told y'all, don't look at me. You stay in the Word. You let God direct you. I just share these devotions, and I share my thoughts, and I share testimony, and I share things that I'm going through, that I've been through, that I'm getting through. And I know that I will be victorious in this situation. I'm just not there yet. And it's not because I don't want to be there yet, okay? I don't like this, okay? I'm better than I was. I've come so much further than I have. And it's not even something that I speak about because I don't want to put it in the air. And I'm so thankful in this situation that God truly knows my heart and desire. And I'm so thankful that I don't have to rely on other people and their thoughts about me in this situation. And the only reason I say this to you is because if you are like me and you are struggling, you're not by yourself. But thank God He loves us enough to sweetly chastise us. He could have went about this a completely different way, but this has really touched me today. And it has really given me so much to internalize and think about. And I know that this is part of the process with Him. This is part of the process. He does this to me. He will speak to me in ways and talk to me and show me things. And this is just another one of those ways. But I did underline some things that really stood out to me. And I'll just share my thoughts on that. What do you think is the greatest hindrance to spiritual growth? And her simple answer was unforgiveness. And I agree with that. I truly agree with that. And I don't want this situation or this person to have this kind of hold on my life. I don't want it to hinder me in my spiritual growth with the Lord. So that's an eye-opener for me. I've never thought about it in that way. Again, this is one of the ways the Lord deals with me, And this is something that I will marinate on and just really remember as the enemy tries to use it against me. I love that. A lack of forgiveness can be a huge hindrance to your ability to hear from God and therefore to our spiritual growth. I don't want anything to come between me and God. And I definitely don't want anything to come between me being able to hear God. Again, another way I've never thought about it. Whew. And it's such a serious matter that Jesus directly linked our forgiveness to others to his forgiveness for us. And I know, y'all, like I said, I've been raised in this, and I've so many times said, in order for us to be forgiven, we must forgive. I know all of this. I know it. And that's one of the things that really bothers me with where I'm at and with this one thing. Normally, y'all, I don't have an issue with forgiveness. Normally, you can hurt my feelings, be ugly to me, say you're sorry, and it's like, I understand, and I've been told that I'm soft and a pushover and whatever you want to say, but I've just never had an issue with forgiveness until this one thing, you know what I mean? But God's working on me with that, and today is a major, major, major stepping stone for that. It's important for our relationship with God that we forgive one another. And he's the most important thing to me. The most important relationship in my life is my relationship with God. So if this one thing is going to hinder me in my relationship with him, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and it's got to change. And I'm the one that's going to have to do the change. I'm the one. I love this, and this is exactly what I'm probably going to write this down and put it to where I can remember it, when she says she's often told her son, Fair doesn't live here, but Jesus does. I've said it so many times, if we keep ourselves in the right with the Lord, in the right place, right attitude, right spirit, no matter what goes on around us, he will take care of us. And in my case, that means I've got to forgive this person. I've got to forgive this person. Now, I do want to clarify, just because you forgive does not mean you have to be around them. It does not have to mean that you have to socialize with them. You can forgive them, forgive and forget. Kind of, like not let it take up any more space. Because honestly, they're living rent-free in your life. They're taking up time and space. And they're not even bothered by it. It's affecting you. It's affecting me. This person's not even bothered by it. They could care less. They're going on living their life. But it's affecting me. It affects my health. It affects my mental health. It affects my relationship with God. My spiritual growth. It's got to come to an end. It's got to come to an end. Sometimes even when you forgive another person, you may find that they are just too dangerous for you to be around very much, if at all. And that's the case with this person. I'm going to forgive, but I don't want them in my life. They are not good for me. And the best thing for me is to forgive and forget, to forgive and move on, not talk about this person, not think about this person, not, Lord, take care of them, protect them. But I've got to let it go. I've got to let it go. Gotta let it go. The ability to forgive is God's gift, helping us live in a world that's not fair. And that's the beauty of God. He knows my struggle with this. And he's not putting me in a situation to just handle it all alone. Just pushing me out there. He's going to be with me every step of the way, and he's going to guide me and direct me and give me the strength I need for this. So give up the goal of exacting justice and instead surrender the situation to your just and kind God. And I'm doing that right here, right now.
I'm handing it all to God. I'm giving it over to Him. I'm going to let Him take care of it. And I'm going to trust Him to take care of me in the process.
You may not be able to trust that person who hurt you, but you can always trust the Father in heaven. It is the truth that makes forgiveness possible, and that's what I will stand on. I will not put my faith or trust in man, but I will trust my Father to look after me and to guard my heart and to shield me and protect me. And the sooner you reconcile with your brother or sister, the sooner you can get back to that gift that you left at the altar and sweet fellowship with the lover of your soul. Don't wait another minute. Practice forgiveness today. So let's practice this together. If you're in the same situation and you have a situation that you've been having trouble forgiving, let's practice it today. And I give you my word, but more than anything, I give God my word. I'm going to forgive this person. And I'm going to just give it all to Him and just let Him take care of it. The gift of forgiveness, of being forgiven, and of forgiving will set you free. More than anything, it's not so much being set free as it's just knowing that all is well with me and God, that I can lay down my head and know that I've done everything I can do and everything is good between me and God. Not what people think of me. You may be sitting out there thinking what you think. I mean, it may be negative about me and the struggle I've had with this. You may be sympathetic. You may be empathetic. You may be right where I'm at. I don't know. But at the end of the day, what's most important is what He thinks of me. And that's where I'll leave that. So, I'm not sure this was for you as much as it was for me. But if you've been struggling, you're not by yourself. You know, we're not perfect. We're human beings and we're very much flawed. It is through the grace of God and His sweet ministry and Him talking to us and chastising us so lovingly that we become better the more control we give Him, I guess you could say. I hope that makes sense. Wow. I love y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I pray you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.